Hi, and welcome to the Home Extension. Here we are with Barbie, and we're going to do a Halloween special. And we're going to do carving pumpkins, which I haven't done in years, literally. So I'm actually really excited about this. So I'm going to let Barbie, well, actually, what have you been doing lately? I haven't even seen you.
Well, this week we went to Harshaw, which is in the middle part of Wisconsin, kind of the upper northern part of Wisconsin.
Right.
And we went up there to photograph the fall colors, but the fall colors weren't quite there yet. So we got in our car and we went up to Lake Superior and we put our hands in the water and we picked up agates.
And agates are?
Agates are rocks, stones, and they were from pockets in the volcanoes, and so it looks like that they are like kind of liquid stone that's all melted together. But one characteristic of what most people think about an agate is that it will have rings around it. So like you'll see a red-orange ring, and then you'll see a clear ring, and then you'll see a brown clear ring, and then you'll see an orange ring. So they got rings all the way around them. If you've ever seen agates like that, you'll see them in a lot of the rock shops around here.
Right.
They're particularly pretty in Lake Superior because that's where the volcano was.
Oh, it was?
Mm-hmm. This was all different years, hundreds and thousands and millions of years ago.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, are they kind of like the rings like on a tree? I mean, do they tell a story?
Yes.
Do they keep growing?
Well, it's that the minerals that leak
or is that
into
how cold?
it's when the minerals leak into this pocket, and then they coat the outside of the pocket, and then a different color of liquid melted stone comes in, and it coats the inside too. And they're translucent. Most of the time they're translucent. Sometimes they're opaque, but a lot of times it will be like kind of a root beer colored translucent ring in there, and then a different mineral will leak into that pocket. And so anyway, then when you find them, they look, many times you don't have any idea that they're an agate unless you really know what you're looking for.
Right.
And I've studied enough of them on the internet, and I've looked at enough of my dad's that I got a good feel for what I'm looking for when I'm looking for them.
So do you have to crack them open?
Yeah.
Oh. Kind of like those things, like when you crack them open, they have the crystals inside.
That is, that's a geode, and a geode you can have a geode inside of an agate, so you can have an agatized geode.
That's
also.
what I think I've seen.
Yeah, probably. And sometimes it's just the geode, and then it will have the stone around the outside, which are all the crystals. The geode is all the crystals, and then sometimes it will have the rings around the outside of it, and that means it's an agatized geode.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
A lot of geodes, the really pretty geodes come from Mexico, and we don't have those here. We have geodes here, but they're not pretty like they are in other
They had
parts.
more volcanoes down there, huh?
I don't know. Must have. I'm not up on that
I guess
part.
that's something I'll have to look up. You know, maybe we'll be able to bring up a picture, of the agates, and so I know exactly what you're talking about. But okay, why don't you get started and let us see what you're going to do here.
Well, happy Halloween.
Yes, well, happy Halloween, I'm sorry.
And we are going to do some non-traditional pumpkin decorating to just kind of give you an idea of what else you can do besides just cutting out the little jack-o'-lantern face. You can take this idea and run with it. So I'm going to be using a drill, and you're going to be using cookie cutters.
Yep.
Star cookie cutters in different sizes, and then we're going to be cutting those out.
Okay.
I cut the holes in these pumpkins. These pumpkins are all cleaned out, so I cleaned them out before we came. I'll just tell you a little bit about what I did. I cut the holes in the bottom. As you can see with this pumpkin, I got a non-traditional pumpkin even so that it's more on its side to add some character. So I just don't have, on my steps, I just don't have all little round pumpkins. So I had fun finding this one. I soaked these overnight in cold water. And what that did is it made the crust of this or the outside of this pumpkin very firm so that when I'm drilling into it, it's not mushy, but it absorbed all of that cold water. The part that I forgot to do was put a dab of bleach in the water so that it will keep the bacteria down. You can also take a spray bottle of water and spray the inside of your pumpkin with slight bleach water, and that will keep the bacteria and the mildew down. You can also, with the pumpkins that have large enough holes in the outside of them, you can take Vaseline, and that will keep the moisture inside of your pumpkin. You can so you can line the inside of the holes with Vaseline, and that will prolong the life of your pumpkin. You can also take your whole pumpkin and soak it in water. Like, I don't know if it's once a week or how often, but when it starts to get softer
Right.
or something like that, then you're gonna just say, okay, I wanna go make sure that it's got a lot of absorption or a lot of, what's the right word? A lot of
Hydrated?
yes, thank you. So it's hydrated on the inside, so then you would soak it in cold water. And you could put a little
then
bit
it
of
brings
bleach in
back
it.
the firmness.
And then it brings back the firmness
Yeah,
again.
we did an experiment like that when I was in 3rd grade. We actually took celery, and then you put it in the celery stalks, and we actually put colored water in there, I think blue, and then you could see like the veins of the celery and how it turned it blue. It's a good experiment. Try that at home with the kids. It'll be fun.
It would be fun. That's
Yeah.
a good idea. I'll try that with my grandkids.
Yeah, it's
So-
kind of cool. You can do red, white, and blue. You could do like, like the 4th of July. And by the way, after Barbie did her palette, your palette scene with making the American flag out of palettes, I saw it all over because I drive all over, and I saw them everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, and
Cool.
I thought that was really really neat. It was
Good.
great to see. And I saw yours outside your house, and it looked really
Good.
nice.
Good.
Yeah. So okay.
So my pumpkin is going to be done primarily with a drill.
Okay.
Yours is going to be done primarily with cookie cutters. So I'm going to just, what I have done on this pumpkin here is I have made a little moon, and then I'm going to draw my design on here. So basically this is going to be swirls on my pumpkin. So I'm just kind of drawing wherever I want to make kind of a nice big curly swirly type of a design. And then I'm going to use different sizes of drill bits to just make really pretty patterns in here along with my moon. And then you're going to do stars on your pumpkin. So we got kind of a moon and a stars and a sky theme going on.
So I noticed that you printed out a picture, almost like something to follow by.
Just kind of keep me going so that I'm going in the right direction in case I forget what I wanted to
Right.
do.
Well, I guess I'm doing a Starry Night pumpkin, if you can see that. And I guess they actually painted theirs black. But I mean, we're not going to be painting mine black today. But it shows you how to use the mallet and everything. And it kind of gives you an idea, something to follow by. But I mean, always use your own mind, think outside the box, do whatever you want. Make it your own. That's what I would suggest.
All right,
Okay.
very good.
So, all right.
So
Here, I'll
I'm going to
cutting
start
in here.
drilling my pattern, and you're going to start cutting out your design.
Okay, and then I was talking to Barbie earlier, and she said that, a lot of times when you're cutting into your pumpkin, that you want to make sure that you cut in straight, because I noticed years ago when I used to carve pumpkins, that I would cut and it would go in at an angle, and it seemed like you wouldn't get enough light. So what we're doing is we're cutting directly straight in, and we'll go from there. So what else have you been doing lately? Have you seen your mom at all?
Yeah, she went up north with me when we went agate hunting. She's fun to take with me.
Oh, cool. So does she, so has she seen the show?
Oh, yeah.
Does she like that you give her an honorary mention every once in a while?
She hasn't said. I should ask her if she, maybe she's not watching them when I think she is, because she doesn't say that.
Well, I know my mom is, because she's blasting that page like nobody else. And my Aunt Marilyn, I would like to say hi and thank you. And thank you for the area rug that you gave me. I mean, it looks great in my house. And I'm using that TV tray stand that you gave me. I actually have my lamp on it. I'll take a picture of you and I'll send it to you. It looks great. I'd like to give a shout out to my Aunt Linda, because she also, her and my Uncle Dennis, they're just super fantastic people. They redid their Victorian home, and it is absolutely beautiful. I should bring pictures in of that too. My family is actually really kind of unique. They're really, I don't know. They know how to do everything. It's crazy. Kind of cool.
I'm doing the larger holes first, and then I'm going to go back in and do the smaller holes and just follow my pattern that I've made.
Okay. So since you already have it gutted out, I guess you can actually just, I'm just pushing my stars straight through after I cut them out, and then I can just clean them out from the inside. Because this one's already gutted. Barbie was nice enough to do that for me. So what do you do anything with the seeds?
I did not.
Do you normally?
Yeah, usually I give them
What
to my
is a
daughter.
good recipe for those? Because I always seem to burn mine if I ever do it.
I don't know. I look it up. I Google it. Google the
It's
recipe.
different all the time.
Yep.
So you can have spicy seeds or non-spicy seeds or...
Yep.
So... Yeah, so my Aunt Marilyn, I don't know if any of you know who you are or who she is, but she's just a fantastic lady, and her last name is Hookrein. Gotcha, Marilyn. So, oh, and yesterday was my mother's birthday. I got to give a shout out to her. Happy birthday, Mom. She was up here, and we had quite an exciting summer. She totaled my car out. It's kind of exciting. She's okay. But I guess those airbags, when they go off, they snap you like a rubber band. But I got a new car out of it, so whatever. Some things you just can't, you know. Why get upset? It happens. Stuff happens. Push this through here.
All right.
And then...
Kind of a picture of this so you can see what I'm doing. Should have brought some paper towels. Didn't think of that. Okay, so here's kind of the beginning of my moon. So I've used a couple of different sizes of holes here, and then I'm going to fill in with different sizes of holes. And then here's my swirl pattern that kind of comes around here and around here and around here. And then I've got another swirl pattern that's coming up here. And I got one that's going to come all the way up and around here. So.
Oh, wow. That's cool. So, yeah, you could just do that all day long, huh?
Yep.
So far, I've got these cut out, as you can see. So it's coming along quite nicely, and this isn't taking that long. I'm assuming probably gutting it would probably take longer, unless you're a hunter. I'm sure it won't take you any time at all. Oh. And I wouldn't worry about trying to make it so perfect, you know, because it's just for the season. Unless you're in a competition, which I don't know if there is one going on around town here or not. I know the Kids 4 just had a party the other day, which was really nice. I saw the pictures of that. And we're still doing, volunteering at the Badger Games. And I think so far we've raised maybe $1,500 or $1,700. And that's not bad for 4 games. Last time I worked the game with the mayor and the mayor's wife. And they're fantastic. And the next day they opened up, they did the ribbon cutting for the Pelican Reserve or the Pelican, I don't know, they built a bridge out, you know, across from Hearth or that bread company out there. You guys know where I mean, out by Howell and Lindsay. And so you can actually look at the pelicans, which is really kind of odd because I don't know why pelicans come to Wisconsin. Do you know why?
I don't know why pelicans come to Wisconsin. I didn't know they did come to Wisconsin.
But you can go out there and observe them now. They built a little bridge out there for them. So you can go take photographs, and you should take photographs of those.
I should. I would like to do it.
Yeah, I think it used to be an old, my friend told me it used to be an old reserve pond for irrigation, I think. And then the family had to do something more with natural resources or something with the DNR, and so they just let it fill up. And that's what that is. I'll have to figure out the exact name of that. But, So do you carve pumpkins with your grandchildren at all?
I have.
I haven't done it in the last couple years because their parents are kind of into it with them. So rather than me take away that from their parents, that's kind of a big deal that they do with their kids.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think family's family. Who cares?
Well,
More the
that's-
merrier to me. You know, I was just telling them, I did a paper in sociology, and, you know, not enough people are spending enough time on the relationships that really matter. They're trying to build more relationships with people that, you know, focus on the relationships that you have. You know, try to make them the best ones you have. You know, because people are so busy, it's hard to build relationships or true relationships. That's what the paper was saying. So, I don't know. Because, I mean, back in the day, I would say, what, 50, 60 years ago? I mean, pretty much all you had was your family, you know? And it seems like to be getting away from that, and it's kind of sad. So, I mean, I think there's something the whole family could do. I mean, have everybody over and carve pumpkins and, you know, have that last broad fry, get a half barrel if that's what gets your family together. I mean, I don't know. Do something. Spend time together. You know, even if it's like chop some wood or, you know, everybody's got home projects. Everything goes faster when you work in a team, if you ask me. So.
Okay, so here's what this is looking like at this point.
And then there was a certain amount of time that we'll spend when we're done kind of cleaning out the holes. And
So, did you bring a finished one?
no,
You funny Barbie.
good question though.
Well, what
No.
else? What other kind of ideas have you seen people do with pumpkins? Like, you
There-
know, like stickers, paint. I mean,
You can paint pumpkins. I have another project that we'll be looking at shortly that we were going to be using. The next project after this is done with artificial pumpkins, so we're going to look at what we can do with those. And the reason that I did those is that they're a bit more time consuming, so rather than do those to a regular pumpkin that would take a long time, you've got a fair amount of time invested in it, so you may as well make it permanent. So we'll be looking at that. Notice on these pumpkins that I cut the holes in these pumpkins from the bottom. And then I also want you to notice that I cut the bottom of the punch out flat, so that if you are going to put a candle in the bottom of your pumpkin, that you can set your little candle on a flat base.
right.
So then then you can easily set your pumpkin, you know, you would put your pumpkin right over top of that, so that if you're also going to put the light in the bottom and you're going to use a candle, make sure that you have enough openings and that the openings are big enough towards the top of the pumpkin, because otherwise the top of your pumpkin will get kind of burned out.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, you know, and like how she's doing this right here, I would almost think you could actually just take the garden hose and just take it outside and just spray it off, or spray
could.
the inside out, or,
Yes.
you know, or you wash it in the sink if you have to. I mean, most people have a sprayer in their sink, I would think.
All right.
Yeah, that's really sharp. And then I asked her earlier, like, what kind of lighting source would be good for that, and X-ray, I would go like with an LED, you know, something that runs on a battery, because because I know about candles, or lights, because of the last show that I did with Lisa. That's awesome. We the incandescent, they probably don't give off enough light. You know, those little candle lights that you run on a battery, they probably wouldn't give enough light to really show your pumpkin off, you know, all your hard work. So, I mean, make sure you have a really nice lighting source. I'm actually going to be using a real light, so that'll shine, and we'll be able to see how that works. So, yeah, after we get this all drilled out, we'll turn the lights off, and then we'll light up our pumpkins, and that'll be awesome. So, do you know of anywhere like to take the kids, like, or any haunted houses around, or have you been to a corn maze? I don't know anything really. I mean, I should probably maybe we'll post something up here. I don't know. you know, to let you know what's going on in Sun Prairie, you know, like the corn mazes that are close by, or, you know, what kind of face painting, Jekyll, whatever. So I'm sorry.
I don't know of any of those.
Do they do anything in Stoughton?
There was a haunted house, and it's no longer open. They closed it, so I don't know where the next closest one is. I know
Oh.
that there's a corn maze in Sauk City that we have been to. That's a fun one.
Oh. Yeah, you know, I heard about those corn mazes that, you know, you actually have to buy like well, back in the day, I guess you had to buy like a GPS system that would plot out your corn, and then you would do like soy in between or wheat. Don't quote me. But yeah, I guess just to buy that GPS system was like almost like a lot of money. But, you know, I think it's kind of cool that they actually came up with corn mazes.
Who would have guessed we'd decorate a pumpkin with a drill?
Yeah.
I think this is a cool idea.
Well, you know, everybody's trying to, nobody has any time, so they're trying to do everything really fast. They're like, get the drill. Yeah, they should have like a, I don't know if they do it here, but they should have the kids do like a carving pumpkin contest. Or even draw on their pumpkins. That might be easier than having them work with knives or drill bits or anything like that. Or maybe stickers or, you know, finger paint, something that washes up, cleans up real nice. So do you do Halloween cookies?
Not anymore.
Well,
I used to. I
Well,
used to.
you
I
need to
made
do-
I made sugar cookies for years, and I love sugar cookies, great big sugar cookies, and I would decorate them. And one year my husband said to me, you know, I really have never liked those cookies.
So that was
so
it, huh?
I stopped making sugar cookies.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll eat them. Who cares if he
Aw.
likes them or not?
It
Make
was
them for the
funny.
people that come over and visit, or take them and go. I bet you, you know, the people at the Colonial House, you'd like a sugar cookie, wouldn't you? Well, unless you're diabetic. But, you know, if you up your insulin, maybe we could sneak one in. I don't know. I wouldn't do that, though.
I'm going to turn this
Only
around
under
so
a
that you
doctor.
can see. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
I'm going to turn this around so that you can see that this is taking shape. So here's my little moon, and here's my ribbon or my little swirly design, and here it's coming up here, and here it's going to come up here. So I'm just going to kind of keep filling it in with smaller holes, and then we're done.
Yeah, it actually seems kind of nice that with the pumpkin laying on the side, she only actually has to do one side of it, or, you know, 3/4 of it. She doesn't have to do the whole side of it, or the whole thing.
Yes, and then we got to clean the debris up, but I think that was a very good point to say,
About what?
to wash it out. Just run the hose through it.
Oh yeah, just, you know, just get your hose out. So Barbie wanted me to show you how to actually take one of your cookie cutters. You just put it right on there. Just give it a little whack, just to put the design in there. Because I think actually if you punch, well, could you punch that all the way through?
You could, but it's going to be hard to get out.
Oh, I see.
It's going to be very hard to get out. And when you reach into it with something,
Yeah.
then you're going to make a gouge in your star shape.
Oh,
You might be able to push them all the way through.
right. Do they make deeper cookie cutters?
Probably, yes.
Let's see how that works. Let's give her a try.
Did you push it all the way through?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you ever recommend? Because I know, like, when I used to carve pumpkins, like, you know, to hollow out the inside a little bit more so it wasn't so thick inside, or do you think that would make it weak?
You want your outside of you want your pumpkin lining to be about 1 inch thick. That's the ideal.
Oh, okay. Well then, oh yeah, then you actually, yeah, for sure, then you have room to play with. So, yeah. So, well, we've got like just 5 minutes left. So why don't we clean these up,
All
put our
right.
lights in, shut the lights off, and see what we got going on for Halloween.
All right.
This is going to be awesome. Can I take these home?
Sure.
Good. I'll buy them from you. It's not a problem. Because I was actually, I was going to do that today, and then, I don't know, actually go around to your local farmer if you need like corn husks or anything like that, because usually they're really generous. I mean, farmers are just wonderful, wonderful people. And I know like the Stons are right out there. They have like 3 billion acres, and they probably wouldn't mind giving you a couple corn stalks. Just leave the corn, right? So, let's see. Okay, I got mine. Let me see.
All right.
Where's most of my light?
And then I'm going to set mine right
Maybe I'll punch one more big
Here.
hole right here.
now. Eventually, this would have come down here farther, but we're going to do it this far at this point. And I have a small light here. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to put it right up under here.
Okay, I need something just a little bit bigger.
There.
Oh,
I think I just popped my light out.
there we go.
I just turned my light off. And it's stuck in my pumpkin. You can see the bottom of my jack-o'-lantern.
Okay.
There.
Yeah, if you have outlets outside your house,
There.
why not plug them in? So, I don't know how to shut the lights off. Maybe
There.
one of the
And I
people.
don't know if you can see that.
Yep, we're ready. Ready? Ooh. Ready? Here we go.
There, let's see.
Maybe
Oops.
I'll turn this TV off. I don't know how this works. There we go. Oh, that looks beautiful.
There.
There we go.
There. And there were our jack-o'-lanterns that we made with all cutouts, non-traditional cutouts. You
Great.
can have fun with the drill and different sized drill bits. And you can have fun with moons and stars. And so this one, then I will just set that one up on a little pedestal, and I will put this one down beside it.
There we go.
Yep.
So, I mean, obviously you're going to take more time, and I mean, as you can see, this didn't take that long at all. And enjoy. And thank you, Barbie, once again. This was fun. I actually had a really good time.
Good.
And so stay tuned. Click on the link, and we'll have more things going on. What's going on around town, for Halloween and whatever and whatnot. And check out the pelican thing. I think I might go out there and actually take some pictures of the fall leaves. So make good choices. Well, hello. And we're here with Barbie again, our lovely DIY lady. And we're going to do some other wonderful things with pumpkins. Oh, and I just wanted to let you know, this is what I wear for when I volunteer for the Badger Games. And like I said before, we've raised almost $1,700. And I do have a couple shout outs. The thing I was talking about in the other segment was, it's actually at the Patrick Marsh. It's at, they built an observatory so you can go there and look at the pelicans. And how to get there is it's past the Patrick Marsh High School. And then on the 29th of this month, there's a spooktacular. That is Thursday, and so that's when all the kids can go around. I think you get punch cards, and you go around to all the establishments, and they give out candy and, do all these wonderful things. It's run through the chamber, so that's awesome. And on November 14th, the studio here is having an open house. So people can come here. There's going to be food, refreshments, and they're going to see how the studio runs, the ins and outs, talk to the DJs on the radio station. And on the radio station, there is actually a Google app and an Apple app if you'd like to download it. So you can always kind of keep in touch with what's going on in Sun Prairie. So now that we did all that, and we're going to post this for the Spooktacular. You know, because I think it's a nice way, safe way, you know, keep the kids healthy, you know, like, you never know. I mean, when I was a kid, it was like razor blade and apples. I mean, like, really? But nowadays, who knows? So let's keep everybody safe and, you know, give that a try. I'm sure they'll give out some wonderful candy and, ooh. Okay, Barbie, what should we do?
Okay, today we are going to decorate some artificial pumpkins, and these are going to be extremely simple, but they are time-consuming enough that rather than do a real pumpkin, this way you can use them in the house year after year. So the first one is going to be this pumpkin that I have had sitting around my house for the last 10 years, and I use it, but I wanted to change it. So I painted it black. And what we're going to do on this one is, and I have started it, we are going to make a gorgeous spider web out of plastic Swarovski crystals.
We're gonna bedazzle.
Yeah, we're gonna bedazzle this. So I'm going to start it, and then I'm going to turn this one over to Mike, and then I'm going to take that one, and I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing with that pumpkin. The tools that we need for doing this are your little gemstones. These are plastic. I got these at Hobby Lobby for $5.
They give you all those for $5?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
You can bedazzle everything.
And then they had a package of glue, and the glue actually had like 4 different kinds of glue in it, which for me, when I'm doing these shows, this came in handy because I can test the different glues. So the first one that I started with was this one, and it's called Fast Grab Tacky Glue, because I didn't quite realize that there were so many tacky glues. So this one stays thicker, so it grabs onto the rhinestones better. So we're going to use this one. And so we have glue, we have rhinestones, and this is a grabber or a picker-upper tool, and it has 2 different sizes on the ends. Got this at Hobby Lobby. The ends are sticky. You don't want to touch them with your fingers. If they get dull, then you simply take, and I brought this just to kind of show you what you do, you take sticky tape and you clean off the ends so that you're taking off all of the debris off of your sticky tool.
Oh,
or
wow.
off of your tool. So that is that.
You know, these kind of remind me of the pumpkins last year that we did. Where, remember, we rubber banded them. We took, what was it, newspaper? And then we rubber banded them, and then we left the stem out. Or no, it was the grocery bags you get, the plastic bags that you get from the store. Remember, we filled them all up. We filled one up, and then we rubber band the top, and then we kept the stem out, and then we took rubber bands along the sides. And then it created that pumpkin.
Oh, that would be cool.
And then we did paper mache over the top.
That would be very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought I did that with you.
Nope, not me.
Oh, it must have been that other girl, Heidi LaHue. Hi, Heidi. Okay, so.
Okay, so I'm going to show you.
Oh, yeah, it had to be. What am I thinking?
Oh, forgot that we need pencils. So I brought a yellow-colored pencil for my black pumpkin. So I'm going to draw my spider web on here. I'm just going to make some lines out here. I'm going to extend this out here.
And spider webs are actually pretty easy to draw. I mean, if you have like a, even like a, what is it, a protractor, you could like just put that in the middle and just keep drawing circle, 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 and then just take your lines out. That's how the spider does it, but not with a protractor.
So this is how simple this design is. Kind of an inverted partial circle. And then we come out here, do it again. And come over here, do it again.
You know, and what I think would be a really neat idea too is like, you could start this any time of the year and kind of do it like a puzzle. You know, like maybe when you get tired of it or you come up with a new idea, then go back to it, or, oh, you know, oh, I was thinking about my pumpkin, and maybe I'll do this to it, or, You know, it doesn't all have to be done in one day. I mean, you know, take your time with, you know.
And I have an eraser at home that will erase this, so if I make a mistake, that's just fine.
Because it's kind of like artwork.
Well,
Or it is artwork.
spiders aren't perfect, I don't think, so this is all fine. Okay, so then once I've got my spider web drawn, I'm just going to take, I'm going to put a line of glue on here.
Oh. So
Except,
I know some people have like glue guns. I mean, would that work?
I think a glue gun would be too bulky.
Oh, okay.
I need to clean out the end of my glue here.
Oh, it's just like Elmer's glue.
It is, except it's sticky.
Does it? It must dry white, huh?
It
Or
dries, oh, this one dries clear. That was the other reason that I liked this one, is it dried clear. I'm going to have to stick that all the way through there.
You know, actually, I did a mistake, not with that, but I was actually down at my brother's house. Hi, Dale. And I don't know how to tile, but I'm like, ooh, I'll tile his bathroom because, well, he's my brother. And so I'm like, I just put like a rim around the thing, and I went and bought caulking, and I didn't realize that it dried clear, and then you can't paint over clear caulk. So, and you can't really caulk over caulk. So I don't know, I might have to go down there and take it off, but I don't, that was my experience. So make sure, like, if you buy caulk or glue, like it dries clear or it doesn't dry clear, because, yeah, that's how that
All right,
rolls.
let's see if we can get this glue to come out of here. I know it comes out of there. There we go. I'm going to hold on to that pumpkin,
Sure.
and I'm going to see if I can get that to come out of there. It's just not cooperating. There we go. All right, so we want just a little bead of glue. And it doesn't have to be perfect. There. And I'm going to show you how I want you to do this, and then you can take it from there.
Okay.
And I'm going to put that cap back on there. Okay, so then we need our sticky tool. And we're going to lay some little gems out here. We're going to use the medium ones and the small ones, and I kind of mixed them. I used mostly the small ones. And you grab a hold of the little gemstone from the top. Whoops. Let me see if that one is better. It keeps grabbing the sides. All right, and then we're going to put our little gemstone on so. And we just keep on going. Last night I played with this and it worked perfect, and now it's not cooperating.
I think that's always the case with everything.
Yeah. It's like our car. I'll tell Ronnie that my car is making a noise, and I'll say, it's doing something, and then I have him go for a ride with me, and nothing happens. Never makes that same noise. So I'm going to let you take it from here, and you can just make spider webs.
Okay.
And I'll take this one. And the object of these was to keep it just super simple so that there are very few tools involved and very little cost involved to do this project. So you basically take a paper mache pumpkin and you spray it whatever color that you want and you put designs on it. You can, let me keep that upside down there so it works better for you when you're ready to do that again. These pumpkins can also, you can do so many different things with them. I've seen them with, you can put your house numbers on them. You can put Happy Halloween on them. You can put Boo on them. You can put your last name on them. So you can just decorate these any way you want to. I was going to make a couple of other ones today. I was going to do a black and white checkered one, and then I was going to do a black and white striped one, but all of a sudden I realized that that's a lot of time involved in that. But I was going to kind of make this a mishmash of color coordinated different size pumpkins. So anyway, what I'm going to do with this one is super simple. This one I'm going to take, this is called, it's the puffer paint. It puffs up. So it's the tulip. This one is, it's called Tulip Slick, but it's a dimensional fabric paint. So I painted my pumpkin, and then I'm just going to make swirly designs on here. So that these are sort of almost like a filler pumpkin that you could put other things and set them into your arrangement with this. You could put like Indian corn with it. You could put vases of flowers with it and set these as accent pumpkins so that they're not really the focal point. They could be used as the focal point, more so that one than this one. Is that tool not working?
Oh, no, it is. I
Okay.
just need glue.
Okay.
Okay.
So
No, it's working perfect.
I'm going to start with this one. I'm just going to draw some designs on here. And since this pencil isn't cooperating, let me try a green pencil. There we go. Guess I'm into swirls today. I didn't realize how swirly I am.
Yeah, the thing with this glue, I think you need to cut that tip off further.
You know, if we had a little tool to cut off the end of it, we could open up another one of these. Here, do you want to shove this pencil all the way through it? Might take off the tip and then push it all the way through the other side, and then here is a paper towel.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, sorry. Sorry it's doing that. So
Oh, it's probably just dried glue.
So this one, I somewhat practiced last night. The problem that I had most of all was I kept making my dots too close together. But this is all we're going to do is we're just going to follow these dots. We're going to start at the bottom of our swirl rather than the top. And I'm just going to make a design. If you make a mistake, these wipe off and you can start over. We're awful quiet here.
Huh. So I was thinking, do you make pumpkin bread?
Do I make pumpkin bread?
Or like pumpkin pie, or pumpkin cookies, or?
You know, I don't. I'm not a baker except when it comes to like Christmas or holiday time, then I can cook big. You know, like I can entertain my whole family and make all the turkey or the prime rib or the whatever we're going to have. So I do cooking on a large scale, pretty decent.
Right.
And but cooking on a small scale, when I get, this is kind of what you were saying, and when you were talking this earlier about when you're talking about when people go home, they're wiped out.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And so when I get home, I'm wiped out. The last thing I want to do is cook. So I would like to get better at my crock pot.
Oh, right.
Really?
Believe me, I just bought my first one. But
You did?
What I was telling her is that I'm taking this class, sociology, and people have to move further out, you know, and commuting takes up like, people hate it. People hate the commute most of all. And what happens is that, you know, you have to commute like, I don't know, let's say 2 hours out of your day, 2.5 hours out of your day. That means you have to get up earlier, you gotta do this, that, whatever. So people don't even, they're exhausted by the time they get home. They want to watch, you know, dumbing down TV. They don't, you know, like, people are just exhausted from working. And some people have to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs. You know, I mean, it shouldn't be that way, but it is for some odd reason.
We live in a stressful society.
Right, and what they call it is like first world problems. You know, like, I mean, we have everything. We have an abundance of food. I mean, you know, we're not starving or anything like that, but, you know, it takes a lot to maintain that, you know, and everybody wants more. They always want more. Like, they look at their surroundings, or they look at their people around them, and they want what they have, and so it just kind of creates this cycle. Me, personally, I live on a pretty low burn rate. I only buy what I need. A lot of people buy either once, you know, so that's what I'm learning. So.
All right, so let's go. Oh, I had another one in there. Okay.
So I guess people just need to make more time, or figure out what is important, you know. That's why, you know, you hear like these people, you know, like, oh, he was a doctor and just decided to go into farming. You know, like, you know, people are like, how could he give up that money? You know, it's like he wanted to hang out with his kids and be home and not miss out on, you know.
Exactly.
You know.
Yep.
As long as everybody's fed and you got electricity, you know, shit, who cares?
So anyway, what I do is rather than cooking, because I used to feel bad that I didn't cook or bake, but I do a lot of art things. Most everything that I do is art related.
Right.
You know, or landscape related, or of that nature.
I know. I should show them some of the pictures of her yard. I mean, it's just beautiful. You know, I mean, but I mean, that's your thing. I mean, that's where, you know, I mean, you're doing that for you, which is absolutely perfect. You know what I mean? It takes you away. You know.
We've built a couple of houses, and when we built our first house, we landscaped, and the landscaping was all around the perimeter of the house. And I didn't get to see it. And so when we built our second house, you know, you still put your shrubbery around the base of your foundation,
Right.
but I took my landscaping and moved it out into my lawn. So I made, you know, like really, you know, see how these got lots of swirls? I made flower beds with lots of swirls in them, and I set them out in the middle of the yard, and then I do, I just put a lot of different types of shrubbery in there, and I also try to design my garden so that they have winter interest and summer interest. I do a lot with trees on standards. Trees on standards are the ones that you buy at the nursery stock, and they'll either be like 2 feet high or 3 feet high or 4 feet high, maybe even on the half of a foot. And so they take the stem of one type of a tree, and then they will put the top of another tree in a ball form on the top of it. So I do a lot of those, and I do them in different heights so that my garden has different heights all over. Actually, I saw that, where I got that idea, was my husband plays in a band. He doesn't anymore, but when he played in the band, we traveled with the band, and we went to Austria.
Oh, really?
And at the park, and I believe it was in Innsbruck. And the park had rose bushes on standards. And I was just taken aback by that, and I thought, I'm going to go home and do that. So I did.
What is Austria like? I've never been there.
Austria?
What is Austria? Australia?
No, Austria is connected to Germany.
Oh.
Like Austrian crystals.
See, I don't know anything.
See, so when I was talking about the Swarovski crystals, those are from probably over in that part of the world. That's where the crystals are all made, like Waterford crystal.
Oh. Well, so what is Austria like? Is it German? Or?
It looks a lot like Germany.
Oh, wow.
It looks a lot like Germany. It's pretty. It's old.
Oh, is there actually adhesive on the back leaves, too?
Nope.
Huh.
Nope. I wish there was. I was trying to find something that would do that. Unfortunately, anything that would do that,
Drop of my diamond.
we're just kind of winging this.
Yeah.
I don't have a pattern right here where I'm making these. There, but that works. Oh, let's make that one go in a circle. There. Oh, that's cute. Let's do one right there. There. Not cooperating?
Oh, I think I just got
Okay.
fuzz on there. Uh-oh.
So here's my little pumpkin so far. And you can see what I've done.
Oh, wow.
Yep. This will take several hours to dry. I'm going to leave this rather than try and clean it up here because there was a little goof on it. I would think I could take a razor blade when I get home and pop that off and then just repaint there. So I will. Whoops.
So then that
doing
just dries just like that, huh? It doesn't chip off or? Huh.
It's actually fabric paint
Oh.
so that if there's a certain way that you cure it, I think, and then you can wash it and wash it and wash it, and it stays on your shirts. or whatever you're decorating. Okay, and then I'm going to cross over there. Let's cross over there and come way down here and do a big one. Oh, we're just having all kinds of fun over here. Okay.
Yeah, takes a little while.
Yeah, yours does take a while. Mine's going fast.
I'm usually pretty speedy. But we should
There.
you know, I almost think like, you know, if you wanted to do something like that with the kids, you know, like maybe a less expensive way, you could almost use like a Sharpie, you know, and create those patterns. I think this would be awesome. You know, you tattoo artists should try something like this and tattoo up some pumpkins, you know, display your work. You know, because that reminds me of like, what is that? You know, that Indian ink they do?
Mm-hmm. Henna?
Yeah. Doesn't that kind of look like that?
Kind of.
Yeah, let's henna pumpkins.
When I was looking for ideas to do for this show, I'm always looking for something that is relatively inexpensive.
Right.
A lot of times I try to do things that are recycled. So the project that I have after this is going to be from recycled material because I try to do that. But I also try to find things that don't require a whole lot of material, are relatively inexpensive, and just really simple. This one, the problem with this one is that once I get so far, I'm going to have to stop because otherwise I'm going to accidentally smear something where I don't want it to touch and smear someplace else. So I may stop when I get this a certain point. Other ideas that I saw, though, that were cool ideas for Halloween, I'll just share some of those because I thought, oh, I could do that, or I could do that, or I could do that. And then sometimes, not sometimes, usually what happens is I see an idea, and then I think, oh, but I could do this and take that idea. So you kind of take the ball and run with it when you see somebody else's idea, and you build on that idea. And I love to do that. But one of the ideas that I saw was that they take women's stockings with the lace patterns on them or the fishnet stockings, and they just wrapped them up around a pumpkin and pulled it tight, whether it be an artificial pumpkin or even a real pumpkin, and then rubber banded the top and put some kind of an accent on the top. And those were just,
oh, wow.
Those were just adorable, and I wanted to do that. Another idea that I saw, and I thought, oh, that would be really fun, was you find an old pair of shoes and you go to someplace where you could find an inexpensive pair of tights, like striped tights, and you stuff the tights, the striped tights, and they would be the wide stripes on them, like yellow and blue or something like that, or red and green. And then you put slippers on the bottom of them. The shoes, this one had like red slippers. You know how in The Wizard of Oz, when the witch got squished under the house? So
right.
Then you take these tights and you stuff them with whatever, and then you take some kind of a skirty thing and put it at the top, and then you put the shoes, you fasten the shoes onto the bottom of the tights, and you make it look like that it's coming out from underneath your house, or put it on your porch. And I thought, oh, that would be really fun. So I toyed with doing that today.
What would you think you could fill that up with? Like newspaper, or? You want something where it looked like a leg.
Like something from a pillow, you know, like more like polyester, so it wouldn't be so lumpy.
Right, unless they have cellulite. Okay, so, yeah, you know what I was thinking about your pumpkin? That looks awesome. And, you know, like, I don't know, maybe if you're older and you have more time, or I haven't seen them around in a while, but at this restaurant I used to work up at Ishnala. But if you put it on a Lazy Susan, you could just spin it around.
Oh, yeah.
Or a spinning wheel, you know, like how you do your clay pots or, you know, anything like that. But, yeah, so this is what I did.
Oh, and then here, so he's got that one done so far. And then I knew I had one of these at home. I had a little spider, but then the idea is you put an accent spider on there. So ideally it would have been a whole lot bigger than this, but you could, and I don't want to break that.
Right.
I don't want to stick that in there. But you could find a spider that would be sizable. So whether it be a contrasting color or a great big leggy black one that would like be three-dimensional and kind of come up and be creepy looking, but still go with the sequins, but you could accent this with a spider, and I thought that would really be cool.
Yeah, so with that, you know, if you can't find something all bedazzled like that, maybe just go to the dollar store and get a plastic one and spray paint it.
Exactly.
You know, spray paint it with gold paint or, you know, some color silver, you know, that'll bring out all the colors that you're using. But that is our other pumpkin issue. So, I mean, this is awesome. So great ideas out there, you know, for if you want to spend a little bit more time decorating your pumpkins, this is definitely the route to go.
Still
And
very-
the other one, I mean, that's simple, easy with the cookie cutters. I don't know if you saw the last segment. I think these might be running together, not sure. But yeah, so here we go. Happy Halloween, everybody, okay?
Yep, and I don't
Make
know
good
if you can see
choices.
it. Yep, there we go.